Alright, today we're going to look at number 11 on the isometrics. It's this large block with this kind of V cut out of it, but the V is smaller in the back than it is in the front. We're going to use something called loft. Okay, so let's create our part. Start a new sketch. We're going to draw from the front. We're going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to make the whole solid block, and if we count across, it is 2, 4, 8 across, and it is 1, 2, 3, 5 high. So 8 across would be 2. 5 high would be 1.25, since they're all 0.25 per square. Finish that sketch. We're going to extrude that, and we can see the depth is 4 or 1 inch. And there we have our large block. Now we're going to cut out a big V in the front and a little V in the back. So what we want to do is we want to draw those two V's. You see the V here and then the V in the back. So I'm going to draw them on the front first. So right click on the front, make a new sketch. Center it so we can see what we're doing. We're going to get our line tool. The V goes from the corners, so we can start at the corner. Come down, we don't know exactly where it goes, but it doesn't matter. Just place it and we'll fix it in a minute. You have to complete the entire triangle. Even though it's a V, we have to connect the top to make it a solid shape. Okay, and now we can tell I didn't do perfect here. We need to figure out how far it is from the bottom. We can see that it's 1 up. So I'm going to dimension from this point down to the bottom. And that's going to be 1 or 0.25. Now they look pretty close, but to make sure they're equal, if we go to the equals, make each line the exact same size, then it puts it right in the middle. And now it's fully constrained. So we're going to finish that sketch. You can see that triangle or that V I made on the front. Now we're going to make the one on the back, so I'm going to flip it around, right click and say new sketch on the back. We're going to do the same thing, but it's smaller. This time it does not sit right on the corners, it's just somewhere in the middle, so we're just going to randomly draw our triangle on the back. Do basically the same thing. We can see on the back here that it's 2 down from the top. So I'm going to dimension from this point down from the top this time, and it's 0.5 because it's 2 squares. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to make these two sides equal to each other. It evens them out. But how far is it across? We have to dimension that. We can do it a couple different ways. We can dimension from the corners to the points, right? Which is 2. And then that will automatically make the middle the right size. Or we could dimension from the corner to 1 point and then across the V or the triangle. So I'm going to measure from here to there, and that is 2 or 0.5. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And since I made those things equal, it's going to put everything right in the middle. You could measure that if you want. Right, it should be 4 to the center. And if we try that, it's going to tell me I've already done that dimension. See, because it's already 1. And we can tell because it says fully constrained. When I click this, you can see it gives me an error because we already have that. So we're going to cancel. You can see it's fully constrained down here in the bottom right corner. So we're going to finish that sketch. I'm going to turn it back around to the front. So that's the way we're looking at it in our picture over here. Now we're going to use something called loft, which is over here just a little bit to the right of extrude. Click loft. We're going to cut. We're going to cut this first section on the front here. So we're going to select this section. And sometimes it's hard to figure out which it is. So I like to just click on this sketch here and see how it selects it. If we click it in the model bar, and then we're going to click to add, and we're going to select that sketch on the back. And you can see it's already starting to cut through. So we just say OK. And then we have our piece. And it's got that nice little notch in it, just like it does in our picture. That's all there is to it.